got the faster method to do this. I set up before. So this should be... I'm going to open my stream real quick. I need to check if this works. Oh my god, I set that up immediately. Look at me. I'm so ready today. Let's go. I'm so ready today. Hi, guys. I'm so ready. I set up so fast. Let's go. I have paper stuff here. And I have the gouache. My favorite medium of art. I'm happy. This was set up so fast. I love this. Let me see which drama we can go over. I'm gonna change my shirt too. Hold up. Hi, Milo. Where'd my cup go? I probably put it back, to be honest. Oh yeah, I did. Got water in my melody cup. We're gonna watch drama on... Are we gonna watch drama on Avatar The Last Chair? What? I'm wearing a Toilet Bon Hanako shirt today. Because I'm an anime nerd. Yay. Oh my god, it looks so nice. Oh my god, I set this up immediately when I joined. I haven't even turned on the light. Let's see how the light looks. Also, I'm pretty sure the drama with Frogan is done. Holy crap, I just blinded myself. Alrighty. I think the drama's done with it. I just don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I have to keep fixing stuff. Ew, like the light is right there. What the hell? Hopefully this doesn't fall. Oh crap, it's already falling. We got it set up super fast though. I love this. I even added my YouTube logo at the bottom. So we're gonna have some fun today. I was just watching Jacksepticeye's newest video. I gotta split screen real quick. Alright, we're split screened. I don't have my phone right now. So, let's see. What's the newest drama we got here? Because I don't know if there's any new ones from what I can see. Let's see. Because I don't think anything happened to Frogan. There's Cinny Bear, but I don't know if... I don't know. Cinny Bear's kind of dumb. I hate Cinny Bear. We could talk about the Mr. Beast drama again. I don't know. This seems like the most relevant topic right now. Ignore all the things on the chair, by the way. I can't move them. It's all my brother's stuff. Oh, well. I gotta paste this link in the Discord. Hold up. Watch drama. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Alrighty. It was posted in the Discord now. It's been... Oh, Ben of the Week! I'm sorry. I used to love him when I was younger. Not anymore. Autism. Sneeko? Has Rosanna posted anything about Mr. Beast? No, just about Logan Paul. Wait, I didn't watch the Logan Paul video with you guys. I could watch that. I could rewatch it. I don't mind. I got an advertisement for Trolley Gummies. Of course I did. I ate so much candy yesterday. Oh my god.
So, apparently Logan Paul took the time to make a cringe-filled video attacking me and a Fred Meyer Kroger employee, but didn't take the time to address their moldy lunch leaves.
Instead of lunch leaf, they put moldy. That's funny. They got the gouache ready. I think I'm gonna move it over here just because I'm used to it being there. I'm gonna like move stuff around real quick because I'm used to paint being over here. Paintbrushes here. Water. I don't know if we're gonna need these, but I'm gonna put that over there too. Also, if you guys didn't see, I'm working on you who should watch analog horror. Yes, okay. Yes, thanks, Naz. What is my autocorrect on? I think it's on a little bit of the za, anyways. I gotta figure out what I want to paint first. I'm thinking. Also, this is a tissue box. It's a tissue box. Oh my god, it makes a funny noise. Anyways. Ta-da! I just got paint immediately on myself. This is gonna be fun. I should actually pull out the gouache painting I did yesterday. I outlined it with pencil though. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take this down because I guess it could be recounted as something else, but this is the one I did yesterday. Ta-da! And I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I'm not even facing it correctly at the camera. How do I, like, face it at the camera? Because, like, I think that's fine. Yeah. That's what I did yesterday. Ta-da! It's really late on stream. That's the thing that sucks. Because, like, I want to show something. And then, yeah, it's Rouge. It's Rouge Rabat and Knuckles. I love Knuckles. Knuckles is my favorite. Alrighty. Who should I paint today? I feel like maybe I should just do like a sunset or something, or like forest. I don't know. Oh my god, what if we watch a Bob Ross video later? Anyways, I'm just gonna search up. Some gouache ideas. I can't use Pinterest. My school blocked Pinterest because they're a mean piece of Anyways. I have my art sticker. Paint Rudolph? Oh, like the Christmas character. Is it 'cause Christmas coming up? Maybe I should just draw like a tree with snow, and then I'll draw like. 'Cause like painting Rudolph, I don't really know how to. I think I can draw like a tree in the background with like snow on it, and then Rudolph right here in the corner. That sounds good. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna freehand it though. So back to Logan Paul drama.
Logan Paul came up with, but I'm also going to be interviewing the Fred Meyer employee that Logan Paul publicly mocked in his video to get their perspective.
Ultimately, it was a dehumanizing thing to see myself used as a puppet, because that's exactly what he was doing. He was using me as a caricature.
All right, this is the best one yet. According to ex-users, various retail stores have recalled Lunchly products due to FDA's concerns. The sign of the tweet reads, due to public health concerns, the FDA has recalled Lunchly products. We will restock as soon as deemed fit for consumption and ship through our warehouses. That's so weird because FDA recalls are public by law. And as you can see, Lunchly is not on the FDA recall list. So hold up, that means that this sign is fake.
That is true. The sign that was posted on social media was not accurate. If he would have left it at that, I actually think this could have been a decent response. But let's be honest, Logan is not a decent dude.
No, not the Suicide Forest reference. Oh my god. I keep forgetting that part's in the video. Because I already watched this. It's just I'm rewatching it for you guys.
About Lunchly being recalled. Taped it to the fridge, then a picture of it was taken by someone else and posted on social media as if it were real. Community notes, where you at? Anyway, I had my forensics team look into it, and they were able to find the exact location where this allegedly took place by photo matching the tweet with the gray door handle and the sales labels. Then we cross-referenced it with the locations that we distribute to. It's a Fred Meyer, and I had someone go there. Boom, exact match. Same door handle, same tag, same products even. But hold on, where is the FDA recall sign? Also, we can see the sales data. After Lunchly was recalled, it wasn't, but after that sign was posted, we continued to sell out all of the Lunchlies that hit the shelves in that store. So who put that fake sign up? Turns out it was an employee named who said this when we confronted him, and I quote,
It's pretty.
Have you seen the Kanye stuff? I haven't seen any stuff about rappers or anything. I did see, like, some stuff about you-know-who. I can't say his name on stream, but, you know, I'm just going to call him Puff. I think we all know who I'm talking about. That's, like, the closest thing I've seen to any, like, you know, musician, artist, whatever you want to call them, drama.
Pretty upsetting that Logan Paul is showing the outside of the store as well as posting pictures from the employee's personal social media account. Was that really necessary? It is super creepy for a massive public persona to go to a private individual's social media accounts and then post pictures of them.
I'm not saying that name.
To shame them.
that was like kind of rumorized, I guess, through around here. But we had seen a posting about that, but I was the one who had written that. But since we got Lunchly back, it's been taken down. When it comes down to the actual, like, I guess, accountability of it, it was a rumor that was up in the air. Since we had heard that the FDA whole thing was kaput, we took it down. Yeah, it was more of like it wasn't like anyway. Hater or dumbass? I don't know, maybe both. Oh, and I also saw this video.
As of right now, it is believed that all of the Lunchlies are being discontinued in various stores.
Yeah, that's also not true. Turkey Stackums are not discontinued. Stores are selling them as we speak, and they're also still on Kroger's website, which would be crazy for an item that's discontinued. Hey, look, I know some people are driving up to 130 miles just to find Lunchly, but please be patient as we try to ramp up production to meet the demand. But it's just crazy to me that we're a $4 lunch kit, and in the first 4 weeks, our headquarters had a bomb threat. The FBI has identified the individual. He's based in London, which is crazy because we don't even distribute there. A fabricated FDA recall that never happened. An attention-hungry little clout goblin who has made it his entire identity to speak negatively on all things Mr. Beast.
An attention.
The Jack Doherty stuff, are we talking about, like, him crashing his car? Because I watched that last stream, just you guys weren't on here. Last stream. But I did see some stuff about that lunatic. Yeah. Yeah, he crashed his car. We should probably watch that after.
Hate seeing ads? Here's how to get rid of them, or get paid to see them. Do you know how much of the content you see on a daily basis?
No.
Hungry clout goblin. I really. Spoiler alert. That's you guys, not me. You can't come up with an original song. Didn't you literally get sued for copying someone else? Then you can't come up with an original food line. And now you can't even come up with an original insult for me. Boom, what's this? This is when I called you a money goblin.
An attention-hungry little clout goblin.
I think there's someone hanging right there.
An attention
Oh my God.
clout goblin.
Coffeezilla, your slimiest. Thank you, Coffeezilla. I am very grateful for you. It was my personal favorite.
Goblin.
Let's see here.
And we'd love to think this is all just a coincidence, but it's a gnat, and we call it cap. The fact is, the USDA inspects every finished food lot and approves it before even leaving our facility. And yes, it's possible that issues happen in transit, like a seal breaking, or at the store level with rough handling. But just like any produce you buy, problems can arise.
Did he seriously just call his Lunchly product produce?
That's
Logan,
not
did you have to
produce.
do a Google search before making this video? Ultra-processed foods, which Lunchlys are, they fall in that category, are not produce. To imply that Lunchly is just like any other produce you buy is misleading. I also find it pretty interesting that he seemed to be basically blaming how their product is shipped.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but they're like KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast are kind of just forced to be friends at this time. They're literally, I don't know what they're doing. They're kind of forced to be friends. That's why, for like the sake of their business or whatever. But like, they're not really friends. They hate each other. Like, they were literally roasting each other on a stream, I think.
Shipped or handled by the store partners for the mold. Do you think it's possible that they weren't packaged the best at the source, Logan?
But at the end of the day, the product speaks for itself. In our first 5 weeks in Kroger, we've already outsold Lunchables and comparable SKUs that also sell drinks inside. We're going to keep innovating and improving our product as we attempt to disrupt this archaic industry that's been run by the same corporate giants for the past 120 years. It is a new era, and the ops are going to have to try harder.
All right, now without further ado, let's get to the interview. This is with Casey, who works at Fred Meyer and is the one who posted the sign, and his partner Riz. So, Casey, can you tell us a little about yourself?
So I moved to the area about 3 years ago. Started working at Fred Meyer again. I had worked there a couple of years ago, and started with like overnight freight and was just stocking shelves at the overnight hours and stuff, and then. Eventually, the opportunity came for me to actually get promoted and start management over there. So I became their closing relief manager, which basically means I oversee the intake of freight and everything. But basically, I worked really hard to get to where I am. I met her very recently, and so I've started the family life and started being a father to her children, or rather a stepfather, and finding my place in things and really finding where I belong. And it's been really an enriching experience. She's been wonderful with my dogs, which I treat like children, and I've been trying to be as good as I can for her children.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy in this video, Casey, he has a GoFundMe. Because Rosanna started it because he got let go of his job because not KSI. Oh my god, same thing. They're both trash. Logan, started rumors.
As well.
He got let go of a job.
But yeah, so just typical guy. Decided to focus up on the things that I can control and the things that matter to me, and overall that meant having a family and settling down. And ultimately, the more I did that, the more my happiness grew. So.
Right on. And are you able, can you walk us through what happened?
Yeah, so around the beginning of October, there was a listeria outbreak at a major chicken distributor. And so over the course of the beginning of October, there was numerous recalls issued for a bunch of different brands due to contaminated chicken. And I was the one that was put in charge of overseeing pulling the recalled items from the shelves and posting the signs. I had finished a bunch of different products on the aisles near the Lunchly section, and as I was passing by, I noticed that it was completely empty and that there was this item is temporarily out of stock stickers. So I was curious because I had noticed that had been out for a while, and I walked up to my boss and asked, should I post a sign, do you think? And he's like, well, it's going to take me a sec because I'm super busy. I'm going to have to look for the sign.
I'm going to get a tissue paper. You guys can listen to
it. On
it.
the recall list. So you can go ahead and do that, and I will find the actual recall notice and put it up, and if it's not, then I'll pull it down. And we're like, yeah, great. And within a few days, we had been shipped new Lunchly products, so they had been stacked up, and we pulled the sign down. Actually, I didn't even pull the sign down. Somebody else did. I came to work and saw it had been pulled down, and they had been stocked. So I was like, oh, great, cool, more product to sell, great. Then suddenly, out of the blue, I heard that somebody had taken a photo of this and posted it online. And I found this out by a Lunchly's representative that came into my work at 9 at night and was asking me a bunch of really odd questions. And it was starting to get a little borderline harassing because I was in the back room and he followed me into the back room to ask me if I had known about numerous different people, specifically this other person named Casey, which I thought was strange because I was like, not all Caseys know each other. You know that, right? And so I was like, because he kept asking me about my Twitter presence, which is non-existent. I don't have a Twitter account. This guy asked me a bunch of questions regarding Lunchly, and then I brought him over to the Lunchly section for his request, and I was like, see, it actually still has some on the shelf here, and as you can see, there is which is funny because the photos that they sent showed that it was out of stock, even though there was one in stock when they were there. But in any case, there was no sign there. The sign had been pulled down, as I had told him. It had been pulled down within a few days. and that overall it was a mistake that I made in the process of recalls. However, it was an approved mistake through my manager. And when it came down to it, we both shared repercussions in the whole thing.
What were the repercussions that happened to you after the Lunchly rep left?
So I had my 2 days off because he came in on my Friday, to which I prepared for Halloween as normal, as everything as planned. Out of the blue, this video just suddenly hits me, and I show up to it had been seen by everybody at work, so everybody already knew what was up, and everybody was acting like somebody had died around me, which I was like, guys, it's just some jerk on the internet. And like, basically they all kind of tiptoed around me, and then I got called into HR, or rather I had insisted talking to HR about it because I wanted to know if I was okay to work. And then she told me to return. I got called in, and then when it came to the conversation, they were very warm about it. They're like, look, we kind of have to suspend you just because we don't know what else to do. This has never happened in the entirety of the company's history. And we're trying to, mitigate your suffering when it comes to the community, because there are people who have seen this and will recognize you. Even though I'd shaved my beard, and even though I was wearing a beanie pretty low over my face and everything, it was still wasn't enough. And, I stand by my company's decision, because ultimately they are doing damage control. Their name was thrown under the bus too. The Fred Meyer name, which I've trusted pretty much my entire life, is suddenly under fire as well.
I grew up in Seattle, Washington. I love Fred Meyer. Shop there all the time. I'm a big Freddy's fan. What's on your list today?
Oh my god, Rosanna's singing, bro.
That jingle is in my head for the rest of my life.
For the days where you could push the button and hear the talking cows.
Wow. Are you being paid right now while you're on leave?
I'm not, no. I'm not being paid. Basically, they gave me suspension without pay, and it's pending investigation. So if I do go back to work, if they allow me to come back to work, they'll determine how much time I should have been suspended for and then back pay me. However, with there being a controversy at this Freddy's already, I don't know how well that whole thing is going to play out for me.
Is it normal for a brand rep to approach you unannounced, in that way?
It depends. So sometimes we'll be approached by a brand rep, but it's never usually a confrontational thing. And this very much reeked of that, to the point where the people at the front end that had nothing to do with the conversation, even before the conversation had started, were kind of uneased by the representative even being there. And because he didn't really have a friendly presence. So it was one of those things that typically when it comes to the people coming through as representatives, they're trying to set up a display to sell something. And so we were going forth when it came to the Lunchlys thing. He said, "Hi, I'm a representative of Lunchlys," and we're like, "Oh, okay, hey." And we assumed he wanted to set up some kind of display. And then suddenly he's like, "I heard about this picture." We're like, "What picture?" And he shows us this photo. We're like, "Oh, well, what's up?" And yeah, it was an odd thing. It's just that because usually they also operate within business hours, which 9 o'clock at night was not business hours. And I gave them my my information, my full name, because they had asked to be able to communicate through my corporate office, which they did lodge a complaint the next day. But this was right before launching the giant video smearing me all over the internet.
Right.
So yeah, it was unprecedented because they did both. They technically did travel through the proper channel, but then immediately went to just completely bashing me and bullying me all over the internet. It's like, whoa, dude, seems like kind of a disproportionate response for someone who hates on Karens so much to act like one.
Did Logan Paul ever reach out to you?
Personally, no. He just sent his representative to get information, and then from what I could tell, the entirety of his video was based off of like the first 30 seconds of our interaction where I was caught off guard, and then after also pressing me for the same answer over and over until they got a very simplified version of it. Because what I had said on to them was that it was a mistake on my behalf, to which I will ask my managers to retrain me on the recalling process, and overall it will not happen again, and I can see how it affected your brand negatively. So I definitely don't have a reason not to move forward in that way. I definitely see how I did wrong, and yeah, we'll go from there, and definitely send an email to my managers and get the whole thing straightened out. And I thought that they were going to operate in good faith is the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, how many Lunchly items total do you think that your store received? Like, Logan showed about $100 in sales at your store. Is that roughly accurate?
I would say so. Ultimately, it didn't seem like the sign had any effect on his sales, and even he in his own video said that. He pointed out that the sales weren't affected by this whole thing. So I'm a little confused as to the anger and the frustration coming from him, because it's like, you do realize that people make mistakes, right? And that I'm not an idiot just because I made a mistake.
Right.
Calling me a dumbass hit a little hard considering I'm autistic, and so it's one of those things that oftentimes I have trouble communicating myself, and that's just the thing. Is if you come up to me in a confrontational manner, it disturbs my equilibrium. Yeah, I'm sure anybody in that situation could understand.
After you posted the sign, were you the one who took the photo and posted it?
No,
online?
No, I didn't take the photo. And I don't know who that is, and I can understand how, obviously I wasn't speaking for the FDA. That wasn't my intention. My intention was just to look out for my community during a listeria outbreak. And the funny thing is like, had somebody bought one and been like, hey, you want to try a Lunchly? I probably would have, and now I probably will never even touch the stuff. As
I'm talking to you right now, it's very casual, and I just don't understand why Logan Paul made fun of the way you talked. Like,
I was nervous, and ultimately I think that his goal was to use me as a commercial, and I'm a free commercial to the guy, and ultimately it was a dehumanizing thing to see myself used as a puppet, because that's exactly what he was doing. He was using me as a caricature, and while I have experience with that sort of thing in the past, being that, my likeness has been used in, like, my friends' videos and stuff for film festivals. But, like, and so, like, I'm used to that sort of thing, because that has my consent, but this whole thing just, it came out of nowhere, and I was just like, cool, this guy uses me as a free advertisement, and anybody who knows me knows it absolutely isn't true, and apparently a lot of comments also agreed that they were like, dude, you're overreacting.
Yeah, were the photos of you and the store Logan shared in his video accurate?
They were, yeah. Yeah, he showed the front of my store, which, if you can geo-track based off of handles and store fixtures, I'm pretty sure you can geo-track based off of that. So my safety is kind of, I feel, in jeopardy, because he's got some pretty crazy fans. And, like, I mean, I'm sure everybody does. But, like, when it comes down to it, it's one of those things that, being that I just started my fatherhood role and I want to protect these kids that I'm looking after, it's one of those deals that I'm staying on edge pretty much all the time, even though I don't look like it, and that might be why I'm so calm right now, as I'm also
forced to go rogue.
Oh my god, that is so loud. Shut up. Oh my god, it's so loud in my ears. I'm dying. That was loud. Can I skip it? Thank you.
exhausted from it.
I'm so sorry. It really bothers me for you, who's someone who works at a store that sells food, and it's a very normal thing. It happens in food to have recalls here and there, and then you deal with it and you talk to the brand reps and you get back on the same page and you move forward. And just because a sign accidentally went up for 2 days, the reaction being so aggressive and potentially even like you having repercussions and potentially even losing a job, it just seems like a huge overreaction. And I am just really, disappointed. Like, I wish Logan and the other people who own Lunchland, this is their brand, I wish that they would actually take those accounts of mold seriously and spend their energy, instead of just making their brand look good, but take that energy and why don't you hunt down the cases of mold?
The world will understand if the products that you put out have an issue. And the thing is that just as the world understands that sometimes grocers make mistakes, and that ultimately I was okay with reprimandation over the mistake, but I'm not going to handle crucifixion over it. Like, that's just it. It's like, that's what he was aiming to do, was hang me out to dry, use me as a commercial, and peddle his own brand. I understand the business practices of it, as unethical as it is. It's a smear campaign, and that's overall, I'm like, I understand if you want to do that towards Lunchables because they're your main competitor, but dude, I don't even know anything about you other than I stopped following you after the Suicide Wars thing, so what's your issue? So, funny enough, the same day that this had all happened, like hours maybe before, I had received a medical bill out of nowhere for $1,000, and so I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, what's this for? And turns out that it's because a year ago I had been in the ER for some heart issues. Heart was kind of beating irregularly at times, and it was right around the time that I had been promoted to the new Fred Meyer. So I have that. In addition to that, my car also took a crap on me about a month and a half ago, and has just been sitting. So I've been commuting by bike. And in addition to that, I also have a Malamute that had some of his hair fall out, so I had to bring him to the vet. And it turns out that he had, had some issues with his undercoat and stuff like that, so we had to get him groomed. But the whole process there, basically just with all that stuff, it's just depleted my savings so much that I'm starting to get a little worried about my bills. And now that I'm suspended, it's making things a little bit more taxing, especially wanting to provide for children. It's Halloween is my favorite holiday, so it makes it a little hard to give them the things that they want, but luckily a lot of that was mostly bought before I ran out of money. While there's a bunch of shitty things happening in life, there is also a bunch of blessings, and when it comes down to it, the biggest one I have is the family that I've just acquired and that I want to stick with, and that has become my world. So.
Oh my god.
Mentioned something to me about like how busy you guys were with the shipment. Can you just walk us through that? Like how busy that time was?
So this is something that happens every year, and this is something that everybody should know about their grocery stores, is that around Labor Day, things get crazy. The back room is crazy. We're all working extremely hard. I remember the boss that I was asking was right in the middle of down stacking a pallet 7 foot tall with a bunch of tiny, tiny little boxes, because this just so happens to fall underneath something that we have to do, is handle these tiny things within a time period, because otherwise our next crew is not set up for success.
I have to pause it. Hold up. Okay. I'm composed.
And so we were scrambling, and the bottom line is that we made a mistake in that scramble, and generally speaking, I don't even think
Okay, now I remember what I was going to say. I'm going to stop the stream early. Not right now. We still have some time. But it's because the fact that I'm going to be working on the series. I was working on it yesterday. I was, so amped up. It's so goofy. I know, I'm too old to be doing gacha videos, but I genuinely have such a strong passion for making little stories, because animating is hard. So it's easier to just use other platforms that'll give me the opportunity to make and spread the stories that I want to, while still, saving some time. and making more simple characters because, jeez, goddamn, I've tried animating. It's so hard. It's not easy. So I have a lot of heart for the people who do actually animate because holy crap, that's a lot of work.
The FDA would have too much of an issue with what had happened. They're just like, yeah, the guy made a mistake, and that's just that. He took it down, and it was in such a timely manner that even if we were to have received a cease and desist letter from Lunch Lead, it would have already been taken down. It just baffles me that this whole thing erupted the way it did because it did not have to, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I was just the guy's target of the week, but he's getting a little unhinged in my opinion. And
yeah, I agree. Talking to you, I can just feel how genuine you are, and I want people like you handling food because you are someone who cares about the people. You have a concern for their safety and erring on the side of caution. You know, in a situation where there's a lot of outbreaks and recalls, especially with meat and dairy right now, I think that what you did is not a big deal, and it really was looking out for the people, and it didn't impact their sales. And I really don't like how these guys run their business, and they treat people and they bully people that they think make them look bad. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through all of this, and Logan Paul should have handled it like an adult.
I mean, I think the guy's older than I am, so I agree.
I'm going to be starting a GoFundMe, and all of the proceeds, every cent, are going to be going to Casey and his partner Riz. I think that Logan Paul ganged up on him, and ruining the lives of real, everyday, hardworking people is not okay. I'll be putting the link down below to the GoFundMe if you'd like to show us some love and support.
Over. I was gonna say, I actually wanted to try Lunchly, but they're just completely sold out in my area. So, I don't know what I can do with that. Why'd I get a gay quiz? Anyways, let's go back to this. I was watching yesterday.
Message he had received from Tyson. In it, the MrBeast team members seemed to be threatening a defamation lawsuit due to the memes he had been spreading. This tweet quickly gained traction, with many believing it to be legitimate. The post soon caught the attention of Chris himself, who responded jokingly with a picture of Jimmy captioned, "My lawyer will be in contact with you immediately." While most were able to recognize that both parties had not been serious, there were still many people who took the story at face value and began publishing news articles about this alleged lawsuit. Chris soon reached out to Yoxic privately in an attempt to clear the air. But the Twitter user did not accept the olive branch, as his animosity toward Tyson was apparently all too real. At the very least, speculation about Chris's legal actions died down after this, even if the debate regarding Chris's transition continued to rage on. On April 13th, a YouTuber by the name of SunnyV2 uploaded a video titled "Why Chris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for MrBeast," in which he went over the details of the controversy.
Oh, he really did become a nightmare.
Why he believed it would be a potential disaster for the MrBeast brand. However, viewers took issue with the arguments he used. For example, at one point in the video, Sunny says this.
This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended, and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video.
Many people objected heavily to Sunny's conclusion here, saying that comparing the personal decisions of a real person to the depiction of a gay character in a fictional movie was absurd. The video quickly became the most widely discussed response to the drama, with SunnyV2 trending on Twitter for multiple days afterward, and the upload itself receiving a near 50-50 like-to-dislike ratio. Even MrBeast himself chimed in. "Yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare, he's my f***ing friend, and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off." If he hadn't made his position on the matter clear earlier, this response firmly established Jimmy's full support behind Chris. But just like before, while many people praised the YouTube star for standing up for his friends, many continued expressing their objections to what was happening. Mr. Beast's former collaborator, Sneeko, even called out the team on a live stream, saying that they should be trying to convince Chris to change his mind rather than supporting him.
People that are encouraging this, they think that they're doing the right thing. They're all brainwashed. Even Mr. Beast thinks that he's doing the right thing by supporting his friend Chris. Brainwashed. If you really cared, you would not encourage his delusion now. You would look at the long term and see that this is something that he's doing because he is brainwashed by social media.
Other commentators in that sphere also weighed in, with some agreeing that it was irresponsible of Jimmy to support Chris, while others echoed Sonny's perspective, that Mr. Beast had been socially backed into a corner.
Mr. Beast is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because if he says to Chris, listen, Chris, you're screwing up the dynamic of the show. Right? We didn't bargain for this. You want to make your personal life decisions, you want to take some time, you want to figure out what you're all about, that's fine. But you don't get to enact your personal dramas on the set of my billion-dollar show. You don't really get to do that.
On top of that, other people on Twitter voiced concern for Chris's son after he posted a photo to Snapchat of the child wearing high-heeled shoes. They saw this as proof that Tyson was attempting to groom his offspring into his lifestyle, and that he was no longer a fit to be a father, or I guess mother. But regardless of any criticism they were receiving, the Mr. Beast team stood by Chris and kept him as an active member of the group. Even many of Mr. Beast's usual detractors stood up for him in this case, as he was sticking up for a friend before business. There was speculation Tyson may have been let go from the company, but he clarified on Snapchat that he was just taking a break from the spotlight in order to spend more time with his son. This is where things petered off for a while, with the mass exodus of viewers many predicted not happening. It would of course reignite a year later, which we'll get to soon, but for the time being, Chris continued to appear in videos as the Mr. Beast brand kept on raking millions of subscribers in the meantime. In late 2023, Tommy Innit posted a video where he and 3 other creators did an offensive lie detector test. That included Jacksepticeye, who first blew up on the platform over a decade ago. While they answered many inflammatory questions, the most controversial proved to be the one directed to the Irish gamer about Mr. Beast.
Do you think Mr. Beast ruined YouTube?
Yes.
Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
These remarks angered many who were quick to defend Mr.
No, I agree with Jacksepticeye.
You see, at the time, Jimmy was largely seen as a fun-having, altruistic, good-hearted philanthropist. They accused the legacy creator of being out of touch and jealous. The clip even caught the attention of Mr. Beast himself, who responded on Twitter. So, I ruined YouTube because I didn't buy a mansion and sports car and instead reinvested my money into making content focused on doing good and inspiring kids to help people? If he had fun, the videos would be longer. What does that even mean, LOL? You think I'd give up every hour of my life for 14 years if I didn't have fun? This clip is insanely disrespectful in my opinion, and obviously there is so much I could say about his contents, but I'll just take the punches and be the bigger man. Sigh. This passive-aggressive comment quickly eclipsed the original statement, with most taking his side even though he was clearly not being the bigger man. The two would end up messaging in private to de-escalate and resolve the feud. I think this goes to show just how different Mr. Beast's perception was at the time, where even mild criticism stirred major backlash. This reputation slowly chipped away as more and more cracks formed in the facade. With Mr. Beast's controversy picking up steam, it served as inspiration for an article by Patricia Hernandez on Polygon. The writer sifted through various interviews and podcast appearances to dig past Jimmy's facade, and instead painted the startling image of a man warped by the very platform he sought to dominate. I'm just going to read a few of the excerpts here that went viral and got reposted over and over as scandals continued to mount. In reviewing dozens of Mr. Beast videos from over the years, Donaldson has nearly erased himself as a person from his episodic output. If viewers don't really see him having fun, that's by design. Donaldson has outright said he sees personality as a limitation for growth, once noting in a podcast that hinging your content on...
Alright, I'm gonna draw Rudolph now, if I know how to. Hi. No. I can't spell Rudolph. Oh my god, there you go. He's so cute looking. Oh. I can't. He's so cute. I like the stop motion version. He's so cute. I don't know if I can paint him though. I'm like really tired right now. I think I'll just stop here. And I'll work on another painting. Because this is kind of cute. I like this. Oh, shoot. I've never seen snow, but I drew snow. Alright, I'm going to put this to dry. And I'll get the other one.
As a person means risking not being liked. If someone doesn't like a creator as a person, they may not give the videos a chance.
It is entertaining. She's a naturally funny person, and I couldn't do that. Or if I did, it wouldn't be so off the cuff. Yeah. But it's like she's tied down to her personality. If you don't like Emma, then you're not gonna watch her videos. You know what I mean? Well, it's just because I'm all in. I'm crazy. People shouldn't be me. I don't have a life. I don't have work-life balance. My personality, my soul, my being is making the best videos possible. I'm miserable a lot of times. I have a mental breakdown every other week. I don't recommend it.
This has fueled theories Jimmy might actually be a psychopath, which really isn't helped by clips where he states he hated pretending to be a normal person.
You miss being able to go out and do things like a normal person?
No, I literally never did. No, I've always just worked. I can't stand that. I didn't fit in. And when I was younger, I would try to be more like normal people. I mean, it just make me depressed. It would make me be like, why am I even alive? I'm bored. This makes me want to kill myself. And I'll do these normal things. And I'll go out to eat and sit there and talk about nothing.
Or when Jimmy contemplated getting a Neuralink to make more money.
I thought Elon Musk gave you a Neuralink, bro.
I would love one, by the way. You'll be able to make so much money.
It doesn't scare you at all?
No, you're pretty much a robot at that point.
But we already are.
I think you're just making people less human.
Probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
These bizarre clips gained even more traction when he announced his interest in running for president, which may sound like a joke, but is a sentiment he has elaborated on several times.
You could just go from just being a celebrity to just being president. That would be great. I think I could make it interesting enough where I could win.
Okay, well, how?
Give away all my money and just I know how to get people's attention. You know? I can't say too much because then I'll regret it in the future. I'm thinking, I'll just trick all the fucking idiots.
This hubris would all serve as a preamble for people starting to really question his good guy image, which only deteriorated further as his brand descended into a firestorm of allegations over the summer of 2024. And in a bitter twist of irony,
holy fuck.
Chris Tyson.
I got jump scared by Chris Tyson's face. Oh my god.
With the first domino falling shortly after announcing she was no longer going by her original pronouns.
Uh-oh.
While the backlash surrounding Chris's gender identity eventually petered out, the outrage led many to dig through her online past. This resurfaced tweets in which she professed a love for lolicon. While some of these could be written off as jokes, most damning was a print she bought from a controversial artist named Shadman. This is coming from a guy who owns a Shadman drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room. Shadman is a lolicon artist that used to depict real-life children. The artist drew 12-year-old actress Daphne Keane, as well as Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter back in late 2016. The tweet of Chris showing off the poster is dated July 2017. Well after that info was publicly known. It wasn't a one-off either, with Chris replying to the artist and other lolicons regularly over the next 2 years. There was even an instance where she accidentally pulled his site up on stream. These tweets were all deleted shortly after resurfacing. The connection was largely overlooked, with the prevailing narrative simply about her being trans. However, it reared its head again in 2024 due to infighting among online leftists. To make a long story short, a guy called Gouche accidentally flashed his quote-unquote tax folder on stream. The brief glimpse showed many unsavory horse-related images.
Oh, God.
With some even classified as lolly. The absurdity got Ethan Klein of H3H3 to pick up the story for his podcast. This brought many to Vosh's defense, such as a trans streamer named Keffels. The back and forth led her to bring up Chris.
Okay, I'm gonna do something that I think some people may know this, may not. I have a fear of the ocean, so I'm trying to do a black sea nettle. But if I search up the image and I start, like, squirming around, it's because I don't like looking at them. They freak me out. But, like, I'll try doing it. Okay, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Okay. No. Okay, now I feel like something's behind me. I'm good.
In an attempt at guilt by association, Ethan reacts to this info live on air, with the entire crew visibly disturbed.
I don't believe Chris has shared anything like this since. I don't know if she's talked about it. I don't know. Like, is it gross? Yeah, it's gross. Of course it is.
I'm gonna go from the top of my head.
Didn't get much attention. It resulted in our first response from Chris on the matter. If anyone ever asks, just say you talked to me and I explained it was a shit joke to get likes from a reply from Shad. I didn't even know about all the stuff he did. But one of his first controversies, I stopped interacting with him a long time ago. It seemed like this would fade into obscurity again until July 16th, when a YouTuber named Adrox posted a video detailing her troubling ties to the artist. The Sunny V2 clone's video garnered over 1.3 million views, opening the floodgates for widespread scrutiny of her past. Things were quickly getting out of hand, and they were only about to get worse as attention shifted to a video uploaded just a month prior that delved into even more serious accusations. Dominoes in the MrBeast empire really started to fall when a small creator named Prism42 began sifting through old tweets. He found interactions between Chris and a video editor named Lava GS. Lava was
okay, the lava stuff isn't
long before the channel blew up, being among the first 500 subscribers. He even...
It's because Lava, he doesn't even admit to anything. He just kind of...
On July 24th, another accuser stepped forward named Nathan Wayman. This individual alleged Chris preyed on him when he was only 15. As the story goes, he used to be friends with Lava, as they both were involved in running Tyson's Discord server. It was originally a private group with around 10 members, most of whom were underage. He was invited after helping with MrBeast's 10 million subscribers special. Nathan claimed Chris frequently brought up sexual topics, having an NSFW channel and even a hentai bot set up by Lava. He would often share adult videos and spam the chat with lewd artwork. That was on top of calling the minors dad and daddy. Nathan explained the server was later made public, and they were instructed to wipe any inappropriate behavior. That included any potential evidence, as well as Chris's many instances of saying the N-word.
Who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off. Not only that, but he's also under an NDA from when he worked for MrBeast Gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to join MrBeast Gaming himself, Lava. He's the one who actually sent me the contract and tried to get me to sign the NDA, at which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to silence me.
Lava was quick to respond, accusing Nathan of lying and trying to discredit him. He confirmed Nathan was in the Discord, but denied it was scrubbed of racist remarks or adult content. He was later removed from the Discord because of how unstable he was. He would lash out and verbally attack other members of the team. This rebuttal fell short when another member spoke out named Cookie, who alleged to have been active there when he was 16. Unlike the others, he had receipts, with a complete archive of the server due to an unrelated scandal. That allowed him to prove Lava was either misremembering or lying, showing screenshots of the cover-up. He was able to get in contact with Nathan, and they worked together to prove his claims were legitimate.
Here you can see Chris talking about locking down the NSFW channel to True Gods and Anointed only. By the way, this is in 2019. I was a True God and I was a minor. Not only that, but you can see me right below it, Nathan.rtx, saying this is a bad idea. So even I knew as a kid that this was a really bad idea. Here is Lava himself talking about starting the commencement of cleaning the server, word for word. I said he was talking about scrubbing the server. He says that never happened. Here you can see him talking about it as well as me and Cookie himself talking about it.
This caused Lava to retract a portion of his statement. This was 5 or 6 years ago, and I thought I had a good memory of the situation, but I was wrong. After reading the chat logs, this stuff was inappropriate and wrong. These conversations should not have happened with people at the age I was at the time. I strongly condemn them. I still believe I am not a grooming victim, but these conversations should not have happened with me and any other minors in this Discord. Soon after, Nathan and Cookie began teasing a release of the full chat logs containing over 500,000 messages. The theatrics were admittedly kind of bizarre, with the website set up to count down the exact second it was released. The clock struck 0 on July 27th, and with that, the full leaks of the Discord server were made available to the public. With the entire dump accessible online, people began digging through only to find a lot of reprehensible behavior. Despite the dump showing how the server was after it had been purged, there was still a heap of evidence. The first thing worth emphasizing is nearly all of the staff were minors. This bizarre choice exposed them to things they should have been protected from. On at least one occasion, someone posted CP on the server, and they were forced to take action. In fact, the majority of active members were quite young, yet nothing was done to curb the discussion of NSFW subjects. There were at least 31 minors present in the server, with the youngest being at 10 years old. 7 were part of the staff, and Tyson flat out stated that the average age of the server was 14. There were 288 mentions of lolly in the server, with one user even referred to as the designated lolly after stating they were 12. Chris shared Shadman's site multiple times, and talked about trapping another member, before clarifying it meant forced feminization. Chris even suggested being aroused to an attached image of a 14-year-old. The file name implies this was once again in reference to the Catch Me Outside girl. The only defense you could possibly muster to this Discord server is that Chris didn't realize how inappropriate this all was at the time. But even this falls apart given her own underage fans question the NSFW content existing at all. This argument took place after a user pointed out how easy it was for minors to bypass the pop-up asking if they were 18. Many felt it should be relegated to edgy memes. They were ruled against by one of the mods. Eventually, the NSFW channel was locked in late 2018, so only staff could access it. However, as we've established, many of his mods were minors. To make matters somehow even worse, Chris considered extending it to allow gore, which has very troubling implications whichever way you slice it. The last user worth highlighting is named Discount Milk, a real-life friend of Chris. Milk often fought for Chris's attention, even suggesting she should ditch your wife, spend no money, and work for Jimmy for 2 years, and you'll have enough money to be a NEET. Chris replied, "I would love to sell everything I have and just live in a shitty apartment and play video and watch anime all day, lol." This is notable because in the wake of all this, Lava took to Twitter to state, "There's a few individuals in the leaks who deserve to be investigated. One name is Milk, who is an IRL friend of Chris and the same age as them. Was someone me and Nathan grew to despise, and I'm sure he will agree with me on that. He was a disturbed individual, and we fought tooth and nail with Chris to get him banned, which did eventually happen. I encourage you all to read them thoroughly. I again am stating that I am personally not a victim, but there are many other allegations, Shadman, SA, victims, etc. I have seen that I strongly condemn and hope they are investigated and the proper action is taken." The final detail worth mentioning is that Mr. Beast himself was actually in the server. It's unclear how active he was, given his only message was to chime in on the size of Chris's penis. He left sometime around early 2020. Despite being in the midst of a legal battle, Mr. Beastburger would end up taking their Chris Tyson item off the menu in response to these leaks. Now, Jimmy was already receiving a lot of backlash for what many perceived as complicity in this debauchery. However, he was about to become the center of his own controversy, as at the exact same time an ex-employee was preparing what would become the most disastrous series of call-outs against the YouTuber to date.
Dogpack 404, I knew it.
While many ex-employees have spoken out against Mr. Beast in the past, they were largely unsuccessful in getting support from the public. That can be attributed to a variety of factors, from a lack of evidence to just a generally poor presentation. This next story began on July 22nd with a brand new Twitter account called Dogpack404. That day, Dogpack shared a video of himself driving outside Mr. Beast's studio while listening to Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
And when Jake the Viking says, Mr. Beast knew? Yeah, Mr. Beast knew.
Dawson goes on to state Chris was already known as a major liability, but she threatened legal action and knew too much to be fired. This is presumably related to a tweet she posted in early 2024 alluding to legal action after being misgendered and dead-named.
I mean, I just heard through the grapevine that, she was, pissed at the company and wanting to, whatever it's called, discrimination or something, for, people being transphobic.
As it turns out, Dawson had been planning his expose for a while, with the other scandals just so happening to coincide at the same time. I think it would be helpful before getting into his section to try to iron out Dogpack's background at the company and his motivation for making this project. According to a document he created, Dawson has 10 years of experience in the industry. He started as an on-camera personality, but preferred working behind the scenes. His stated goal for doing this was to expose what he felt was an evil corporation. I believe Mr. Beast is a corrupt organization that is bad for humanity, despite their glowing public image. I was often appalled when higher-ups at the company would talk about sophisticated ways to exploit children's psychological development for their own gain while disregarding the well-being of those children. Dogpack has two known Reddit accounts, Mr. Beast Creative and That Fivehead Guy. The second was created in early 2023, which he used to look for jobs. He initially tried making merch for XQC, having previously worked at Zoomies. This didn't pan out, so he moved on to Mr. Beast, becoming active in their subreddit. He began suggesting ideas for videos before designing his own candy wrappers. This became a series where he pitched a new concept every day, even making a 14-minute video to show off his process. By then, he already applied to the company 3 times. This went on for 11 days until a member of the team reached out to give him a chance. He began as an unpaid trainee, getting his first NDA on February 22nd. He moved to Greenville a few weeks later, signing his official 90-day contract on March 25th. This is where things get a little strange. If you read through his posts, he usually seems like a Mr. Beast fan discussing their latest uploads. On the other hand, he also left comments criticizing the channel. Many of these same points were used in his videos. This begs the question, was Dawson really just a disgruntled employee, or did he infiltrate the company to collect more info against them? It's hard to say with statements like these. I think his company is full of non-creative leeches. Personally, I think it's stupid to fake things as much as he does. Lottery would be illegal, but this is essentially what all his sweepstakes are. It's honestly baffling that no one did their due diligence at Mr. Beast before hiring this guy. Dawson was let go early on April 25th for reasons that are unclear. He was subsequently hired by the company Idea Guys, of which Mr. Beast is a client. This apparently meant the founder had to get permission for Mr. Beast to hire him. That's where Dawson would stay until leaving of his own volition on July 19th, 2024. 5 days later, he put out the first of his expose, I worked for Mr. Beast, he's a fraud. There's a lot to cover from this nearly hour-long video, but I'll try my best to summarize it. The major claims can be divided into 3 categories. The first is that his videos are much more deceptive than his viewers realize. Dawson argues Mr. Beast intentionally manipulates his young fans with tactics that closely resemble the 3 types of behavioral learning.
Step 1 is getting the viewer to associate the brand with trust and authority. Step 2 is showing the viewers that when people interact with Mr. Beast in a way that benefits Mr. Beast, when they do what he tells them to do, they win big rewards. And step 3 is finally calling on the viewer to act in some way that benefits the brand.
Dawson then deconstructs the facade, first by proving many of their videos were faked. In addition to using CGI, some uploads were flat out staged using paid actors or camera-trained celebrities. Then he discusses how contestants were often undisclosed to a family of employees. The most egregious example is Mac, who appeared in 8 different Mr. Beast videos. Dawson was able to prove Mac started editing for Mr. Beast 2 months before being introduced as a contestant. The storyline presented in their videos was fake, with Mac moving into a $1 million mansion after agreeing to work full-time.
Wait, he's about to be the first one out? That's unlike him.
No, you got out first. I still have a prize for you. Just wait here.
Oh, first person out gets a car, and it just happened to be your friend Mac.
This leads him into detailing how many other contests were unfairly rigged. He revisits claims from Rosanna Pansino, who spoke out after participating in Mr. Beast's video Hide and Seek.
The other thing that
They weren't abiding by the standards of practices typically in place to ensure challenges are fair. The second category shows how Mr. Beast exploits that sense of trust for profit. Dawson analyzed Jimmy's shirt signing live streams and felt many of his giveaways constituted illegal lotteries. That's because there was no free method of entry that contained equal odds of winning, which is required for a sweepstakes. He also found 13...
I think I'm most likely gonna end the stream now. I just wanted to do like quick paintings, and then now I can work on the series. I feel like this was like a good short stream. I feel like, you know, we really need to figure out something else that we can do. I think next time I'm gonna try looking for well, first of all, I know they sell Feastables at Target. I'm gonna go get that so I can go taste test that. And if I could find Lunchley, I will do that too. I'm just really curious to see how that pans out, like, to see how it tastes and stuff. Because, like, Feastables, I've never tasted it. Ever. I don't think I've ever tasted it. So, you know, we'll figure it out. So I guess this is where I'm going to end the stream. Thanks for anybody who tuned in. And I'll see you guys on the next one.